yeah.
So what are these? Hi.
Oh, rice cake.
With raisins?
Yeah, raisins and
goji.
Goji. 这个里面有加面粉，这都是米，对不对？米糕。
Then we took the metro out to a different part of the city and we got a huge traditional Taiwanese meal. Ryan and his family made sure that they didn't have any soy sauce or flour or any toasted wheat tea. So I wrote down we ate rice, chicken, 2 different kinds of soup, green vegetables, conch, daikon omelet, fish wrapped around shrimp and rice, sweet green bean soup at the end.
Yeah, so...
That was incredible. That meal was so much food.
Yeah, so Taiwanese cuisine, like the traditional sense, it's actually really underappreciated on a global scale, I feel.
So there's a lot of familiar foods like rice and chicken, and then there were a lot of, like, I'd never eaten conch before. Conch? I'd never eaten conch before, I don't even know how to say it. And then there were some different vegetables over there that we don't get over here, and I have no idea. So we took the metro to that restaurant, which was cool. It was a neat experience to see a different metro in a different place. Something that was sort of surprising was Ryan's mom offered us those masks that you often see. So when Ryan picked us up at the airport, he was actually wearing a mask, and it was sort of like a cultural difference, and we talked a lot about this. So he was recovering from a cold, so he was wearing a mask out of like courtesy, so he wasn't breathing on his parents or on us. A lot of times in the US, when we see people walking around with like surgical masks covering their face, it's like, oh my gosh, do they have a really contagious disease?
Yeah, you assume that there's something wrong with them and that they're a person to be avoided, when really all they're trying to do most likely is either they've got a weak immune system or they're trying to be courteous and not get other people sick.
Yeah, so Ryan was trying to be courteous and not get us sick, and then they offered us masks when we were going into more crowded places with a lot of people because, you know, we were running low on sleep, we were in a completely new country with like different germs that we weren't used to, so we were wearing the masks to sort of not breathe in all these extra germs. That was a really interesting cultural difference, and it's a really good idea. We actually kept the masks and we wore them throughout our time in Asia. Yep. So we had taken the metro to the restaurant, we ate at the restaurant with Ryan's parents, and then we split up after that. His parents went back home and we took the metro to see Taipei 101, which is the tallest building in Taipei. It's 101 stories, and it's like a big landmark, and you can go all the way up to the top, and you can see all around the city.
Is this it? Get some. It's a huge building.
Is it 101 stories tall? Is that why they call it that?
And when you go to Chicago and the Willis Tower, we'll introduce this because Willis Tower was the tallest building in the world, but Taipei 101 beat it.
When did this building go up?
What?
How old is the building?
Oh, from 1997 or 2000.
There's one in Dubai that's falling now.
Oh yeah, right now.
各位搭乘全世界最快速电梯直达台北市的观景台。最快3分钟 elevator 的单位以及楼以及跟到达6号层。Welcome to the voice mask elevator to Taipei 101. 看两侧以后显示电梯的楼层高度与时间。得到的号码号回来
Almost there.
Please look at the monitor indicating flow, high speed and time. 各位宾我们已经抵达巴士的楼层。お客様、はじめでございます。We have arrived at the 89th floor.
是我们现在这用了37秒。
Is that exhilarating?
Wow, 80 miles per hour.
Straight up.
Could you all feel the pressure?
Yeah, my ears popped.
Mine haven't finished popping.
Get on
I
that.
think they're still lagging.
Wow, this is pretty crazy. Because that was so smooth, I didn't really register how high we went.
And so this side is the west part of the city. Okay.
So what river is that?
It should be Tanshui River. Tanshui River. I think this will be the edge of Taipei City, and also the river. The river cuts separates Taipei City and New Taipei City.
And you can see the weight inside that sort of
Yeah,
holds
they've got
it.
a special balance ball inside because Taiwan is in the Pacific and it's basically sitting right on the ring of fire, like the fault lines. And all
Oh
of
yeah,
that.
they get earthquakes, right?
They get a lot of earthquakes.
Yeah.
So building a building that's 101 stories is kind of not the best idea unless you do some serious engineering.
It's architecturally, yeah, it's engineering. It's tricky. It's an engineering challenge. I think it went up in like I should look it up, but it went up in like the late 90s, and was it the tallest building in the world at the time that it was built? Anyway, really tall building. They've got like a big, what was it? Was it like a glass shop at the top too? That was kind of interesting.
Yeah, so they have, there was a glass shop and then I think there was a coral?
Yeah, it was like carved coral.
Some of the coral carvings were pretty intricate, but they were also thousands of dollars, so, you know.
They took actual coral from under the ocean and carved like just insanely intricate patterns and pictures and images and animals and people into it. It's really neat. So after Taipei 101, I think we walked, instead of taking the metro, we walked back to the apartment and we saw like some mall areas and some different areas of the city.
huge mall.
Yeah, like, and there were outdoor, like, there were performers. There was a guy with an angry cat. He had a cat on a leash, and it was like it was kind of like Grumpy Cat, but like angry cat.
Very fluffy angry cat.
Really fluffy, really sweet looking thing. There was some guy blowing sugar into different shapes. That was fun. I think we walked through a little park with some trees, and there were people taking pictures of owls.
Oh,
that was cool.
Yeah, it was actually a little disconcerting because
yeah, the guy.
This guy ran up to us in the middle of this park, and he was so excited. And I still feel a little bad in hindsight because he was like grabbing my arm and like trying to tug me over.
He was mostly talking to Ryan.
Yeah, mostly he was talking to Ryan.
Taiwanese.
And then so like I had no idea what he wanted, and then Ryan tried to explain to me that there was an owl, and then the guy like started grabbing my arm and tugging me over, and
he was really excited about that.
He was so excited, and my
really
first response to someone speaking in a language I don't know running up to me and grabbing my arm.
It was a little overwhelming. It's fair.
Yeah.
I thought he was trying to scam us too. But
I was polite, but
yeah, you were fine.
I didn't share or partake in the excitement as much as I would have had I known what was going on.
We figured it out eventually. The owls were hard to see without, so there were people who had cameras pointed at them so we could see in the camera lens.
So they were up in a tree?
Yeah, they were up in a tree. There were two of them. Apparently they were like sort of an unusual owl that you don't often see. I don't often see owls ever, so I don't know.
It was really adorable. There was like a crowd of maybe like 10 to 15 people. And
lots of excitement.
Lots of excitement and cameras, and it was a beautiful little park.
So that was fun.
Taipei is a really fantastic city, and it's really cute.
Yeah. After that, we stopped by and said hello to his parents. We may have actually had more tea. I don't remember.
I'm sure we had more tea.
We probably had more tea.
We had
lots
a lot of tea.
And then we drove with Ryan out to his apartment in the mountains.
We did have more tea because we had the tea that is perfect to pair with sushi.
We didn't eat sushi then.
No, we didn't eat sushi with it, but we had the perfect sushi tea.
Without the sushi?
Without the sushi.
Gotcha. At this point, we'd been awake for like 48 hours straight, and I was so tired I didn't even know what was happening.
It sounds like we're exaggerating, but I think at this point we were literally awake. I mean, we napped a little bit on the plane, but yeah, it was like 2 days.
Right, because we'd gotten to the airport with 8 hours to spare after like working that morning, and then...
And I mean, that's the thing. It was the best thing that could have happened at the start of our trip, even though that part, staying awake that long, was a little miserable.
We were sort of running on I was running on adrenaline at that point, so I felt I really needed a shower, but I was running on so much adrenaline that that wasn't when I got exhausted, but like the next night, and then especially the third night in Taiwan, I was so tired.
One of my only regrets from this trip, and it's not really a regret, because like we did so much. Like that was probably the densest 3 days of my life in terms of activity, but we were so tired that we didn't get to go to a night market. And Ryan, like, very graciously every single night planned to take us to a night market, and then, you know, we were so tired.
You can only do so much in 3 days.
Yeah, when we go back.
Especially with a 12-hour time difference.
Yeah. Thanks to Ryan, we navigated the 12-hour time difference pretty smoothly.
It worked out really well. We drove with Ryan out to the apartment where he lives in the mountains. We showered and got cleaned up and sort of unpacked a little bit. That was like the best shower of my life.
Yep.
So good.
It was incredible.
And then we drove back into town a little bit to get, we got dinner at a place called Moosburger, which is, they had cooked like steamed rice that was pressed into buns around like either pulled pork or like a burger.
Yeah.
So that was very different to what you would get in the U.S.
If you're gonna try and travel in Taiwan and be gluten-free, you can do it, but you need to take some preparations. And we were very lucky that we had Ryan there and his parents, and that they were so courteous and conscientious.
Right.
But even
I don't think I would. It would be really hard to do it without being with someone who could speak Taiwanese.
You would absolutely need a food card that listed wheat, gluten, soy sauce, flour, anything that has derivatives. But
we brought the burgers back to the apartment and we ate, and then we went to sleep.
Yep. Glorious, glorious sleep.
Yep. Okay. We'll come back next time with more.
Yeah.
Bye.